Hello and welcome to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob and I'm joined as ever by I've just totally thrown it. Welcome to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob and I'm joined by my wonderful hostages, Mike, Matt and Dom, and I'm going to ask them the immortal question: what happened previously on Knights of the Apocalypse Omen War?
I'm sort of sorry, and I was only sort of semi-serious. I'm fighting with this session, that's what I was meaning.
Yes. Ambush strikes.
Yes.
There were more of them than we thought, and they were harder than we thought.
It was significantly harder than we thought.
And they slowed us, and then Pop, you unslowed us with haste. And then
they slowed you again.
They slowed us again in the same round. Flis, you took a massive close-to-death beating. And
absolutely.
I think it's safe to say if Pop, you hadn't have slowed them back, we probably would have lost.
MVP for that fight. Pop was definitely MVP.
That's valuable, Pop.
I was, I think that if they would have been a fairly, not easy, but not that threatening of an enemy, if it wasn't for the slow, and the only reason the slow was taken out was because of Pop. Saved. He absolutely saved Fleece's life, and Fleece has not forgotten that. He will not forget that. But they were defeated, and then we had to wait. So, because Pop had spent quite a lot of his spells, and Flis had taken a battering and went down to, I think, 2 hit points he went down to, roughly, in total. And that's with rage. We needed to chill for a bit, so we rested. We had a look outside. The dragon had taken up residence atop the tower. And we wanted to wait to see if he would move and see if we could sneak in. But it didn't quite go the way we wanted it to. But then what happened after we slept, Galarick?
Yes, Galarick was visited by an individual known as Spiter. Devil or just infernal in nature. It offered Galarick a chance to get more information by visiting the idolaters, the representatives of hell on this plane, this planet specifically. And they were in Ireland, to which Galarick pretty much said, I'm not interested in your evil machinations. However, I should probably investigate this further at a later date. But the ring he had picked up turned out to be quite an impressive piece of a magical artifact, or just in its entirety. Though Galarick's ability to kind of resist evil curses, I suppose, just meant that he wasn't able to be so radically influenced. So Galarick thought it safer to stay with him than fall into someone else's hands. And then Spiter walked down some stairs, through the floor, vanishing into brimstone.
It was really freaky.
Yes.
And then we awoke and had to make plans, didn't we, Bob?
Yes, we spent a long time trying to work out how risky said plan was.
It gave me a headache.
In the end, we decided to attempt it, and Pop used a major image, I think, or some high-level spell. Thank you.
Actually, I think Pop took quite a while to explain that it was a major image, so let's not forget. Told us the ins and outs of major image.
Yes, which he was certain could fool most of the dragon's senses. Wasn't totally sure if the dragon would have mystical ways of seeing. Thankfully, as he conjured an imagination dragon,
Nice.
that was intentionally slightly smaller than the
Klorakhar, yes. Now,
yes.
What's important is that you conjured it, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was 640 feet away. It was the maximum distance that you could cast it. So that's the distance that the dragon has to go to interact with it to get its will disbelief save. That's very important.
It was, and also we did see how far the dragon could fly in one shot, and it was so fast. But we know, we've said, well, Flis at least has witnessed. He's seen dragons before, given that he's from the mountains. May not have fought, certainly hasn't fought one of this size before, but he's seen them, so he knows that they're incredibly fast on the wing. But I will say, I was watching the session back, the last one, and I feel we missed a trick in not summoning a sexy green dragon. Why didn't we? We went around different ideas, but we never came up with a sexy green dragon.
You said sexy pig again, but you didn't take it to dragon. Yeah.
The logical.
Like, what's wrong with us? That's supposed to be our thing.
Yeah, and like, dragon sex is very in right now. These fantasy books.
We could have witnessed some sort of cool mating ritual. I don't know.
We are moving into the romantasy field, and we'll be staying there until the money runs dry. With that said, though,
it flew off.
It flew off to investigate.
Immediately, we set off. Now, Pop had a potion of fly that he found earlier that he gave to Flis because Flis would be able to carry the other two.
Correct.
Pop on his shoulders, Galarick under his arm like a big mech suit. Which I just love the image of Galarick just dangling underneath like a Pacific Rim robot.
Yeah.
And we made our way sort of carefully over to the tower, discovered there were two ways in, one which was a staircase on the roof and one which was a big hole in the side of the building. We decided to go in from the roof as we thought perhaps from above we would get, more of an element of surprise, or be at least sort of able to survey what was happening. We were also invisible, so that helps.
But not silent.
Not silent, but flying, so as long as Galarick doesn't in any way move any limbs, we should be fine for the time being. But we saw... we finally found Maxym!
We did, and Delver.
Yes.
Who we believe to be Delver.
Yes, Maxym came when he got the information he needed, I believe, with his metal jaw.
That's right.
Oh, and he was a half-dragon.
A simple half-dragon.
Yeah,
just a
half-dragon,
simple
of course.
That's right, and that brings us exactly to the point where we last left the Travellers, who I realise still don't have a party name, and it's not necessarily a must, but maybe that's something to think about if you survive the session.
We'll get there,
Galarick
and
The Strongers.
The Strongest. Yes, I like that very much.
The Strongest.
That's a continuation of the Muppets, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, there's the Muppets and then the Muppets.
The Sex
Absolutely. The Sex Pigs. Or we're workshopping.
All great names.
I do.
All great names. So, we rejoin our heroes. And as you rightly say, this is the first time that you've laid eyes on Maxym. And you should now see the inside of the tower that you have stolen your way into. And you're absolutely right. His words were, "I know where it is." And each of his words comes with a blast of unstable fire that ripples against like an iron grill that replaces the entirety of his lower jaw. He is a towering figure. He is medium category size, but he is easily your size, Flis.
Extra medium.
Extra medium.
Medium class.
And as he sort of revels in this victory, he looks upon the half-conscious form of a drow that is wearing battered and torn leathers. It doesn't take a check for you all to understand that Delver has been subject to a number of pains, trials, and indignities. The worst being that as he turns his face, one side of it fair from the fact that he is elfkin. The other side appears to have been burned partially away with acid. A grim half mask of seared dark flesh. Maxym moves, his tail sweeping behind him, to look out of the great gap that has been wrought into the side of the tower. And he looks out towards the misty ruins of Uthrael, the ruined city that has long lingered in the horizon of your adventures. And he lifts a gauntlet to his hand. And upon the gauntlet there appears to be fused some kind of magical stone. If any of you would like to do a Arcana, it'll be a knowledge Arcana roll to determine what the magic stone is.
Don't have it.
That's fine.
10.
Ooh.
10. You aren't really sure, but as he speaks once again, the use of the stone becomes apparent. He lifts it to his grilled jaw, and he says, "Chapter General Maxym, calling the Vanquisher." And there is a pause.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, mate, I've just lost
Really
your
good
sound.
insight. Really good insight.
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
Can now.
And now, yeah.
Oh, my little blue bar was coming up. Sorry. So I think we need to just go for this. The dragon's going to be back. He's on his own, and he's about to launch some sort of attack. We've got to stop him. Shall we chop the arm off?
Fuck it. Go for it.
I mean, from where I am, I'm invisible. I could land in front of him and get a jumping charge attack.
Yeah, let's act decisively. Go for it.
So
I need us all. We're all in, though, right? You're not gonna back me up because we've been here before.
I'm out of here.
We have been here
You see
before.
Pop run down the stairs.
Right. Would you allow me a surprise attack of some
So
sort?
the thing is, you have cast invisibility sphere. Is that right? Is that the name of the spell?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
So that's the one where you're all invisible. That's fine. However, did not cast anything to mask the sound. However, you have been flying this whole time. So I'm going to say that this action is pretty much the only thing that you're going to be able to do. Well, I know. I suppose you should have a surprise round if you're all acting together. We'll just say surprise round, because he's had no way of hearing you when you've flown down. I suppose carrying a heavy set of armor might make a bit of a sound, but we could be here all day otherwise. So, in that case, if you'd like to take your surprise round, what happens?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to take potions after this. I was going to take potions if we were getting into a big fight, and this is going to be a big fight. But I don't want to miss out on the attack, on the surprise attack. So I am going to do a charge attack. Why can't I move? Oh, I can. I'm just jittery for some reason. I will take a charge attack with a jump at the end. Essentially, it's not a jump attack. It's going to be a landing attack, but it works as a jump attack because I land in that square. And I will do. I will enter into a rage on the way.
Okay.
And I will do a. Let's do a 5-point power attack. Why not?
Very good. You rush at the half dragon.
So charging will add 2 back onto it, so it's that, and he will hopefully be flat-footed. Charging just gives you 1 attack, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You don't get your. I haven't got pounce, so okay. 24.
You rush, and as you swing out with the full power of your traditional ice weapon, the axe comes down against his armor.
Oh shit.
And as you are revealed, your attack glances from his
24
defenses.
doesn't hit his flat-footed armor class.
Well, as you might recall, it might be that his flat-footed is irrelevant into this situation, perhaps.
Yeah.
As it echoes with a horrible sound, and Maxym recoils, surprised at the emergence of a half-frost giant appearing within his domain. Ah! But that's all he can really exclaim, because that's your surprise, Flis.
Yeah.
Who is going next?
I'll happily go if that's okay. I will cast, seeing the effectiveness that it had on our own party, I'll cast Slow on him.
Very good.
Which will be a DC 19 will save.
DC 19.
Should this be successful?
That is a success on his part.
I think it's all or nothing. Yeah, it's definitely exciting stuff for anything. That's all then from Pop.
So, Pop, you materialise after casting the spell, and the slow boom, 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 boom reaches out, but it just ripples off him as, like, his narrowed, blazing golden eyes fix upon you, too, as you make your attempt. Galarick, can you make the difference?
Galarick is instead going to bolster his defense. He takes from his pouch and drinks not one, but 2 potions.
Dual wielding
is a potion of Eagle Splendor. The second potion is a potion of Resist Acid 10. That is it. That is all I will do.
As you do this, the half-dragon's eyes survey the field, seeing that you have all just emerged out of nowhere, and he says, "It is rare that a challenge so meekly presents itself. I will look forward to pledging you to the Lord of Slaughter." Roll initiative.
Eep.
Oh, for God's sake.
I go last. You still go before me, Flis.
It's really not going very well so far.
Pop is 14.
Yeah, Pop was 14.
Gentlemen, good luck.
Yay.
Well, it's not been up to this point.
Not
better
been
luck,
great.
I think, is more.
The fury in Maxym is only rivaled by the ecstasy that has fallen upon him when he sees 3 challengers standing before him. Not fully understanding your presence here, he is grateful for the opportunity regardless.
Just grateful for the opportunity.
You all had a surprise round, so that means that you aren't flat-footed because you've all technically acted. Maxym is going to provoke an attack of opportunity off you, Flis.
Is he? Oh, lovely. Well, okay. Yeah, I'll take it. Why not? We'll just go for a normal attack. I want to actually be able to hit him at least once.
Yeah.
24 again.
You swing, and as you swing, in a flash, there is a gleaming, sickly-looking greatsword that rises to meet your ice blue axe, and there is a dang as he parries the strike with a devilish, draconic grin before he moves to here.
Can I cast an immediate spell?
Does that allow you to cast on an enemy's turn?
I believe it does.
Okay, well, in that case, absolutely. What would you do?
Pop will reach out a hand and go, "Stay your hand!" and cast Stay the Hand.
Yes, you can cast that out of your turn.
Okay,
I know that spell very well.
so what does he have to do?
He has to make a will save of 18.
That, I'm afraid, is nearly that on the die. So unfortunately, you reach out to prevent him, but your words are ignored as Maxym moves to that position, and I ask all of you to make a reflex saving throw, please.
Oh, wow. Okay. 13.
Devils guide me.
22.
No.
The devil's response.
Because you refused their offer.
Yes. That's a 1 and a 2 on the die. That's
Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Shit, this may have been a mistake, boys. None of us have been able to land anything yet. Me and Pop have both tried twice. And he's just brushed us off like we're children.
You all take 25 points of... I'm so sorry. It wouldn't be. It would be... 15 points of acid damage.
Okay,
25.
can't take many of those.
As a 60-foot cone of acid explodes from his mouth. It's sort of like a gaseous cone of acid wreathes out towards all of you, as you only all take half the damage from his breath weapon. Because as this gaseous green fire surges out of his mouth, you are all entangled within the exhalation, as his breath effect has an entangle upon it.
Okay.
To call Chapter General Maxym a Dragonfire Adept would be a gross insult. This is a Dragonfire Master. As he looks upon the three of you entangled in this gaseous green flames. And that's his turn. In the distance, you can hear the beat of wings, but you don't feel like they're approaching just yet. Pop, it is your turn.
Cool.
Good luck.
Yeah. Can I get out? That's the question. I don't think I can.
Do you have any sort of escape artist?
Yep, so I will let you know that
skill.
it is an escape artist check, and it is as the spell Entangle, rather.
So it's strength or escape artist, right?
Strength or escape artist, that's correct.
And am I unable to cast spell?
No, you're not prevented from casting spells. You are just held where you are, and if you're attacked, you will have your dexterity denied, I believe.
Okay, well that's not as bad for me as it is for everyone else. Well, fuck it. Pop will reach out a hand once more through the vines, which are now entangling him, or the choking green bile that is entangling us, and he will attempt to cast Hold Person from within the entanglement.
Okay, what's the DC?
DC for this one is, I believe, 19.
I'm really sorry, mate. You reach out to try and hold him, but once again, he rolls very well and resists your attempt to seize him.
That is all I can do, because I won't be able to rustle myself loose in any way.
Okay. With that pop, Flis, it is your turn. These exhalations are like gaseous green ropes that have bound all around you like vines in a thick forest. What do you do?
What kind of action is it to attempt to break out?
So, if you're going to use a straight, the creature can break free and move half of its normal speed by using a full round action to make a DC 20 strength check.
I think because I can fly, I would move at full speed because it's going to be.
Oh, of course, you break out of it and you would be above the entangulation. Yes, absolutely.
So what did you say? It was a full round action to break out?
It is a full round action to use your strength to break out of it, as per the spell description right here, I'm afraid. And Entangle is so lethal for such a low-level spell, but there we are.
Okay, in which case, what type of action is it to use a potion?
Movement, but you could use... it's half your movement, we've said, isn't it, to use a potion? Is that what we've been saying so far?
In which case, I want to use
No, it's your full
potions.
movement, isn't it?
Or has it been full movement?
It's a movement action, so if you use a movement and a standard, then that's what I did.
Oh, that's where I'm getting confused. Yeah. So it would be your movement, Flis, to take a potion.
Right. So I can take 2 potions in a round if I do nothing else, right?
Potion. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll see.
Okay. Are you sure? I don't want to.
Yeah, because the impediment is more on your move action, where you were going to move, where you're just reaching into your belongings and taking a potion. I don't think that would be.
I'm not going to attack or anything. So I'm going to use a greater magic weapon potion at +3, which essentially he just pulls out, gets the cork, and just pours it over his axe because it's an oil on the
and it freezes onto it. Yes.
So that is going to essentially it does. It just freezes onto the blade. And the blade sparkles with magic and is now a +3 weapon for 14 hours. And I don't know how long this lasts, so I'm just going to say I've done it, and then we'll move on, and I'll look it up. I take a potion of Enlarge.
Oh, wow.
Person.
Yeah.
Right. Is it the base... level of the potion?
So one...
It's the base level of the potion.
Yeah, it's the base level, so...
Okay, so that lasts for 1 minute per level. It's a Sorcerer Wizard level 1 spell. So it lasts for 1 minute, which is 6 rounds. Is that right? Or 10?
No, way longer. 10 rounds. Yeah.
10 rounds.
Yeah.
So that lasts for 10 rounds. Mm-hmm. So suddenly, Flis... after popping the cork on the thing, freezing this stuff to his axe, and it glows with magic, he quaffs another potion, and immediately he doubles in size, and his axe is now a huge category axe, which I don't know what damage that does. I have to look it up between rounds. Continue. That's what I'm doing.
Incredible. And as that occurs, we just see Flis just grow, and the vines that are holding onto you, this exhalation stretching to hold you in place, as even Chapter General Maxym now has to look up at you as you rise. Very good. With that, we now move to Galarick Doomdriven. What do you do?
Well, there's not much I can do without attempting to break free. So I will just see if there's anything else I can throw at it. Galarick will muster upon his infernal heritage and attempt a strength check to break free.
Very good. You draw on all the power within you.
Oh, measly 4 on the die.
Yes, unfortunately not. You aren't able to break free. As the sizzling acidic ropes burn against you, but I guess you don't feel it with your resistance on at the moment.
Only felt a bit so far.
So that, unfortunately, was a full round action as you attempt to pull yourself free and are unable to do so.
Yep.
Maxym will give a cackling, rasping laugh. The Lord of Slaughter has long been silent, but perhaps your sacrifice will be the note that begins the symphony of slaughter once again. He is going to... He is going to... open his jaws wide. Who would you say is closest to him out of the three of you? Well, it's quite simple, isn't it?
It's me.
It's definitely Flis and Pop. Can you both make will saves, please? Will save, yeah.
21.
11.
Pop, you are able to resist. Flis, you are not. Flis, you are panicked as a terrifying roar ripples across the field of battle.
Does that mean I have to run away?
Well, if you could, yeah, but you cannot move towards the source of your great fear. Pop, while you saved, the ripple of the power is still enough for you to be shaken on a save. And you may also not attack him or target him with a spell for a round.
Okay.
Such is the power of the terrifying roar.
How long is that going to last?
So, let me bring that up here.
I've looked that up and that's awful. That's me out of the fight. I have to drop my axe and run away. I don't know why. You have to drop your axe. You have to drop everything it holds. It seems silly to me, but it says drop anything it holds and flee at top speed, and you get -2 to everything.
Yes, unfortunately. So here we are. Okay. So you're only panicked for one round. You'll be relieved to hear, Matt.
Oh, well, that is good news.
But when you come out of it, you are going to be shaken for a round as well. So the following round you'll be shaken, which is -2 to basically everything. And during that time, you may also not attack Maxym. So you're not going to be able to attack him for 2 rounds.
Whilst shaken, I can't attack him. Okay.
Yeah, so you're panicked for your next turn. The turn after you're shaken, but like Pop, you can't target him with weapon or spell or anything to attack him in any way.
Problem. Well, big problem, but not a problem.
That is what he does on that turn. And he appears to sort of like be in no rush to execute the lot of you, clearly enjoying that he's caught you in this horrifying entangling net. He's done that. He hasn't moved, so he is also going to take a potion. And as he does, it seems like all of a sudden Chapter General Maxym is moving a hell of a lot quicker than he was. As he takes a potion of haste. That is his turn. Pop.
Pop will reach over to Galarick and say, I think it's up to you, Galarick. You must fight him. And he's going to cast Blur on Galarick as pretty much the only spell I can cast without targeting.
Thanks.
Do illusion spell. Jeez.
If only I could break out of this
Well, you must.
flame. How long does that last?
A round per level, I think. So 7 rounds.
Thank you.
Oh, a minute per level. 7 minutes.
Okay.
So, and that's you casting. Pop, is there anything else you want to do?
I can't escape the thing, so I can't move.
Okay. In that case, then, our vision moves from Pop to Flis. You are panicked. You're not able to move, but sadly your weapon, yes, does clang
I drop
to the
it,
floor.
but I do have to flee, so I can at least try and break the...
You can, absolutely, yeah. You would need to try and break it to flee. You're absolutely correct.
So my strength has gone up because I am large.
Yeah, DC 20 to break it.
I believe it's gone up to this number, although the large category thing is quite difficult to figure out. Because I'm raging as well. So we'll just give that a shot.
Oh, one off. You strain against it in your furious fear, horrified at the sight of this creature.
Helpful.
That would have been very helpful. That is your full round action to attempt that. That is Fleece's turn. Galarick.
I do the same. No devilish favour behind me, so...
There is a savage tearing as somehow... Well, you tell us, Galarick. What is it like as you tear free from the entangling exhalation?
As Pop says, you have to. I was like, no, you're right, I must. I must protect the little one. As Galarick's then just like... Urgh. And I think his resist energy is able to sort of kind of... Almost like... It's the entanglement hasn't fully stuck to Galarick. He's able to kind of just knock it off a bit with a bit more ease. As with great stride he erupts forward. Does he move half, is it?
Yeah, so you can only move half of your speed now that you've broken free for this round, unfortunately.
He essentially falls forward 10 feet as he explodes out. And that's pretty much all he can do.
And as you stagger forward, can you all give me a listen check, please, as we go back to the top of the round?
21.
15.
26.
You all hear the furious roar of a distant dragon interacting with what it believes to be a foe of some kind. The dragon is now going to do its Will Disbelieve spell. So, Pop, what is the DC that it needs to meet to understand that this is a sorcery?
So, because it didn't see me cast it, it's technically denied its dexterity against it, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, 21.
21, okay.
Spell.
This is a dragon. It is very capable of doing that, but who knows? But even dragons roll poorly. You hear what must be some climactic battle. If we were to move our image to the imagined dragon, what would it be doing to vex Klorakhar as the dragon goes for it?
I think it's probably because Pop can't really see it. It's probably just going to be like diving behind buildings to evade Klorakhar. And I should say, it only lasts 3 rounds from the start of this fight, so it's probably 1 more round after this, I think.
Okay.
And then it will vanish.
And as that ticking clock continues, we now move to Maxim's turn. And he spots you, Galarick, wading out of the exhalation, and he goes, "Ah, such a brave Tin Man!" And there, in his hand, flashes a terrible great sword that is known as Reflux. Sickening and green it is as it gleams in the light. But instead, he's going to. Yeah, I think that makes sense. You see that there is a change within Maxym. The terrible, gaseous green flames that spark at his every word suddenly turn white hot, and there is a blast as he changes the combination of his breath weapon from a cone to a line of fire that ripples out towards both Flis and Galarick. It ripples forward. Please make a reflex saving throw. Flis, let me just quickly check once again what Entangle does, unless you have the description of the spell with you. I will quickly look it up. If not, that's right. I'll do it. I've got it.
No, I've got it. Oh, you've got it. I've also got it.
I've just closed it. So if
there's a -4 penalty to Dex.
There we
so
are.
that would be a -2 to Reflex.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. So -2 on your reflex saving throw as a blast of fire ripples towards the pair of you.
Okay, that's also a minus whatever because of enlarge, which is a.
Oh no!
It's more than that.
Oh dear.
It's my reflex. -4 on that, and then that. So my reflex is on -1. Oh no, it isn't. My reflex is on 0, so we'll just add 1 to that and make it 10. I'm not going to re-roll because that's unfair. It doesn't succeed anyway. I wouldn't have succeeded.
16.
Okay.
So.
Unfortunately, both aren't able to meet that. So a line of fire comes rippling towards you, burning the air before you, and it strikes you both for 23 points of fire damage. You feel yourselves, the air around you, burning.
Ooh, does blur affect reflex?
I don't know.
I think it
You
affects
tell me.
all types of.
I think
No, I don't
so.
think it
No, it's just 20% mischance.
So no, it wouldn't because it's an area
It's not-
effect.
it's
It's
an
not trying
area
to strike
effect,
you
yeah.
directly.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he's also going to.
Can't take many of them.
He sees you coming, Galarick, and he takes a blast. And as I said, he's got that great sword in his hand as well. He holds it as his side as he sweeps up the staircase to stand here atop the stairs, and it just points the great sword at you as if to invite your charge. That is Maxim's turn. Now it is Pop's turn.
Kill him, Pop.
I killing spells, Matthew.
Well, get one. Yeah, learn one. Kill him.
I know. I'll detect secret doors.
Talk with critters?
Sorry.
Burrowing critters? I was going to say critters.
Oh yeah, I could speak to some burrowing critters for sure. I will cast. Maybe I can get Galarick an advantage for a round, relatively cheap. Colour spray on the bastard.
Okay.
Which I think is yes. I'm assuming he's more than 4 HD.
He is, yes.
So this will only stun him for a round, should it be successful. Sorry, it's 5 HD.
Yeah, he has more than...
He's going to be, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a will save of DC 18.
So he sweeps up the stairs, and he's gesturing at Galarick. Oh my word! He's looking, and then as he's pointing the blade towards the knight, fully not taking you as the threat you are, Pop. Ah! A blast hits him and stuns him for a round.
Yeah, I think Pop makes the light from the flames and gas that are flaring all around just like glow really brightly for a second, reflect off Galarick's shining armor and his own sword, and just stuns him briefly.
I love that. The Infernal Warrior, almost the heaven sent at this moment, gleaming with light. Anything else, Pop?
Nope.
Flis, you are no longer panicked.
Just shaken, but it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm not going to try and do anything but a strength check to break free, so...
Yeah. You also couldn't attack him this round anyway.
No.
Because you're still on the secondary effect of that thing, yeah. So make a strength check,
So,
DC 20 to escape
That
the
is-
entangulation.
Unaffected by the shape.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't get any stronger than this. I don't know how Galarick did it.
He rolled
Still
well.
70.
That's
I
it.
just-
Oh, man.
I'm raging, I'm large, this is ridiculous.
You strain against it, now no longer panicked, but still fully shaken from the experience. You cannot free yourself from the entangulation, but you do see, Flis, that there appears to be straining points within the exhalation, like you're halfway through the duration of its effect.
Great.
A whole halfway through?
That was my plan all along, was to just stand and wait.
I mean, that's literally what Pop is doing.
Oh
Like, you tie Pop up and he's like, oh well.
well.
I'll carry on.
That was Felice's turn then. Galarick, free and now confronted with a stunned Maxym, not flat-footed. What do you do?
A brief moment as Galarick points his glaive towards him. Your evil ends here, Maxym. As I take a 5-foot step, issuing my fighting challenge, and with my glaive, I will go into a full round of attack.
Yeah, you rush him.
There we go. My first attack is a full smiting, fires of Nessus, everything shebang. If he's stunned, let's go for the full.
You
whack.
get a bonus to attack him when he's stunned, I believe, or is it off his armor class? I should ask before you roll.
I should have.
No. I should have looked.
Oh, he drops everything held. Can't take actions. Takes -2 to AC and loses his Dex to AC, which he doesn't have any. So.
Yeah, so he has actually dropped that sword on the ground. That's right. I forgot to say. Yeah.
So swords down.
Swords down.
So -2 to his AC, and if he has any dexterity to his AC, that's gone as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So flat-footed
yeah. So
and
-2 to
-2.
8. Yeah. So I don't mind saying that flat-footed isn't a thing that he's worried about, but that -2 on his armor class certainly is. Make your attack.
First smiting attack, 32.
You rush forward, and it's like and then you just come out of nowhere and slam your glaive into him with everything you have. Incredible.
And with that hit, just it's the first time Galarick's done it, but it's almost as if the ground opens up as just that hellfire surges up with the attack, meeting the glaive as it comes down. The hellfire shoots up, but that's not all. Galarick will take his secondary attack, 22.
it just you clang against his armor, and he catches your blade and pushes it away, like still stumbling from being stunned, still able to defend himself. However, the second attack is not effective.
Absolutely fine. So this is with all of the smiting everything. So smite plus that is that plus this amount of hellfire. Bosh. 45 points of damage. Bang.
Well, it's your hellfire, so while there is sort of like a rough idea of it being black fire, you can describe what it's like as it's your smite. What does the power look like as it just smashes through him?
I mean, as the glaive comes down, as I was saying, the ground beneath him shoots up as just these jets of flame, redder than red, with flecks of this black in it, shoot up like a geyser jet to meet with the glaive. Hitting him from both the top and the bottom as they just meet. We won't talk about the second attack, but we'll leave it.
That's fine. Yeah. Hopefully, history will. The victor will write the history. Whatever I'm trying to say. Very good. Okay, that was Galarick's turn. There is a distant roar as I once again ask for the disbelieve saving throw. As I forgot. Was it 18 or 19?
So did I. It's 21 for the major image.
Oh, yes, of course.
Level 3. Extra special illusion.
There is a distant roar of realization.
I think it was also about to disappear, so I think
as our vision moves away and we can just see in the distance this great winged green shape recoil in disbelief as it has been tricked away from its horde and tricked away from its companion in Maxym. And it is not happy. You hear a terrible roar shatter the skies. And a beat of wings. The power that Maxym is using across the field remains. You guys will have to remind me picking up a weapon. How long have we... Because, of course, Matt's going to have to do it as well, so it's probably a good thing that we agree on. Picking it up, was that... Did we say it's half movement or movement?
Looking at the 3.5, the old D&D screen for 3.5, it says a move action, picking up an item.
Fine. So he will use his move action to sweep
I
up.
I believe he's stunned for this round.
Of course, he's still stunned in this round. Of course.
Lovely.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes. So he reels from being stunned and then immediately struck with hellfire. He does nothing for this turn as we now move to you, Pop.
I guess I'll try and stun lock him. It's unlikely to work, but there's going to be another flare of a flare of light as the colour spray emits once more, and this time because he's denied his dexterity, it's slightly harder to save against.
Very good.
So it's a DC 19 rather than a DC 18.
Okay, he will attempt it. That is a pass, and quite easily, unfortunately. You go for the same thing, but the same trick doesn't work twice. He's too busy being stunned by this one anyway. Anything else on your turn?
That is it.
That is Pop's turn. Flis.
Well, I'm back to normal, but I'm still trying to break out of this bullshit. Let's see if I can roll better than a 7 this time.
There is a tear as BAM! The exhalation withers away fully as you are all now free. Sorry, Pop, you're not free. I take that back. But you're able to tear from it, Flis. That is a full round action to have done so, however.
Isn't it, though?
Isn't it, though?
There we go.
There we
Oh,
go.
you still get half movement.
Free.
Oh, yes, you broke free. You can do half your movements. Which...
I don't want to move. I want to pick up my weapon. So, perhaps if I do half of that now...
Oh, yeah, it was your movement. Yeah. So you can reach for your weapon.
I'll reach down and I'm crouching to pick up my weapon. Next time it'll be a half movement, I guess, to pick up my weapon.
I don't think it works like that. I don't think it works like that.
Well, I don't know how it works then, because that's all he wants to do, and he will start picking up his weapon.
Yeah, okay, fine, yeah.
It doesn't matter,
that's
really,
fine.
does it? I'm not
Half
gonna move
movement,
anywhere, so.
and then another half movement afterwards. It won't really affect it. Very good. You stoop to reach for the ice weapon, which I will one day remember the name of.
Bluvar,
that's right. It gleams on the floor as you reach for it. That was Flis's turn. Galarick.
Galarick, wait, is he still stunned, or did he break out a stun?
So this is the turn where he is stunned.
Well, he would have. I guess it's stunned for one round. So once my turn has come back around,
so he is not stunned anymore. That's right, because we've gone past Pop's turn. That's right. So he's come out of it now, and stares at you with disdain and anger in those eyes.
Well, I used everything in that previous one, so now I'll go for my considered hits, my normal hits. So, 4-round action. First one. 26.
You deliver another strike into Maxym. He gives out a howl as the blow lands. Well done. Roll your damage.
Nice. Oh, second hit.
Oh, of course.
22.
But then he brings his gauntlet down like that to block the second strike.
I should point out I'm adding flame on the first of my attacks each round, but
sure,
hits the best. Ooh, very low. 12 points of damage. This time a small geyser of hellfire shoots out from the ground as I hit. Not as much as before.
A little cockney. Cockney of fire.
Up the apples and pears.
What? Hey, don't mess you up. Just a little geyser.
Okay.
Geyser.
So, anything else on your turn, Galarick?
That was a full round action.
There is a horrifying roar that appears to be coming closer and closer and closer. The great wings of Klorakhar can be heard like a thunder wave rolling across the ruins of Tidewatch to break like the tide upon you. He is very close. Very close.
How close?
The half-conscious form of the drow sort of stirs in the combat, as unable to move still. It is now Maxim's turn. Maxym is going to take a free 5-foot step.
Eep. Aha! That's, I don't think it matters where he's going, but that would actually be 10 feet because he's leaving my threat range.
Okay, then he will take
It's difficult terrain where he is at the moment.
Is that square because I mean...
Yes, it is, yeah.
So he's not leaving it then?
Well, moving through any of that area I threat is difficult terrain.
Okay, so he can't 5-foot step that.
No.
So it will provoke an attack of opportunity off you. And Flis, can you reach that far given your size? You're unarmed, but you can take a strike if you want.
I can, yes.
Yeah.
I won't, because I haven't got my axe. There's no point.
Okay,
this is a regular hit then.
Yeah, he will move here. as you strike out to him.
24.
Oh, what am I doing? No, I'm so sorry. I was saying he was trying to pick up his weapon, wasn't I? So he won't do that, but it still provokes, so the same result. He picks up the weapon. He'll remain where he is with this movement. Can he? This is a good question. Can he? Thankfully, we have measures for such a thing. As he changes the effect upon his breath once more. Yeah.
Oh no.
Can he... It does go through your square. It goes through both of your squares. He can get all of you.
No, and Delver as well.
Please. Yeah, please. Please. Oh, there we are. Okay. Yeah, can you all make a will save, please?
Damn. It's always bloody will.
18.
I'm going to go for fortitude this time. 15.
24. Divine grace.
Galarick, you are able to resist this power, but it is a very familiar one as it ripples out to you all. You are all slowed.
Can I... Am I allowed to act in this fight? I'm actually allowed to do anything?
You broke out with the vines.
Am I still slowed, but...
You're not slowed. You resisted, Galarick.
Okay, you said it all, so I was just checking.
Cool. Oh, sorry. Yes. So, Pop, Flis, you are slowed. Galarick, you resisted as he uses slow breath. It ripples upon all of you. You aren't able... You know the rules of slow.
How long does that last, please?
You don't know.
Redsies.
Pop, have you broken free yet of your entanglement?
Pop has not made no effort to break free.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Pop, you find that it is on General Maxim's turn as well that dissipates.
I'm free!
So that duration might be a clue. It might not be. Boom. Entangling exhalation is taken from the field. Maxym has taken up a sword, done his slow breath. That's his turn.
Pop's turn. Pop will say to General Maxym, "You've said quite enough, but slower than that." And he will cast silence on Maxim's armor, which creates a... how much? Negate sound in a 20-foot radius.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I like that. I like that very much. That's very clever. That's a very clever use of that spell. So, because he's within that zone, he is no longer able to cast anything with verbal components.
Yes, and he also can't speak, which is
He
more
also
important
can't speak. yes.
for my purposes.
Sure. I love that. Even in such a cataclysmic situation, you're like, you shut your mouth.
You'll be quiet.
Quiet. Very good. Anything else, Pop?
No, I can't do anything else. I'm slow.
Okay, that was your turn. Flis.
Yeah, I mean, Flis will carry on picking up his axe. That's all I can do.
You pick up your axe. Galarick.
This is wasting every round of every potion I have.
Again, I'm looking over now and seeing that Flis has gone from pick up his axe to... And then he turns behind him and sees Pop is... And Galarick's, oh no! No, I'll get full round of attack and see if... Chip away.
Yep.
first attack. 25.
Is a miss. As you'll recall, he is now moving much faster than he was previously.
He's hasted, of course. Second attack. 20.
You ting ting, and with his great sword, tang tang, just parries you twice. You locked in this duel like at the top of this sort of gangway. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. There is a terrible sound as Klorakhar has arrived at the tower. He arcs outside, his wings wide. You'll see that if you just move your screens back a bit, he's sort of to the east of you. You might see the shadow fall across the tower as he moves past the arrow slit windows, darkening everything that he flies over. As he passes by, you estimate that he's going to be coming in next round. If he wants to, that is. Maxym is going to... So even if he moves towards you, that's still going to count as difficult terrain against him. Okay.
So he won't be able to get a full attack.
So he'll get a single round, a single attack against you then. No. What is the level of the silence spell, please? Pop.
The level of the same spell is a second level spell.
Okay, so just so you're aware, this isn't technically what he's doing, but it follows the same rules as the greater dispel action magic that he's going to do. So it's in effect an attempt to dispel the silence that you placed on him, Pop. Okay. This is DC 11 plus the spell level that he needs to meet. So that would be DC 11...
13?
12, 13. Which is caster level easily beats on that roll anyway. Pop, you are alarmed to see something that you have never witnessed in your entire life. You have seen many great magical phenomena, but never have you seen this. Maxym opens his mouth, and it's almost like the opposite of an exhalation, an inhalation. Where his breath, instead of being pushed out in attack, is pulled in to bolster him as he uses a greater invocation known as Devour Magic. And you watch, Pop, as Chapter General Maxym eats your spell and devours its power. And that power then heals him.
Oh, no!
As he gets some of the HP taken from him by Galarick. Clearly enjoying himself. He will also... That was just him doing an invocation. He can still move, but it will count as a full move action as he moves there.
He's moving through difficult terrain, so yes.
Well, yeah, that could count as his normal movement, yes. Or are you saying you get something else? Okay.
Well, he's not leaving my threat range. It just means he can't do that and something by the looks of it.
He left my threat range, but as I'm slowed, do I get attacks of opportunity? I don't actually know.
I don't think so. Unless you see somewhere it says you do, I'm going to assume no.
Doesn't say that I don't, but it doesn't say that I do.
I'd say probably not.
I guess probably not.
Yeah, he's gonna. Is he gonna move there? Is that dumb? No, he's gonna go here. He goes there.
That will provoke an attack of opportunity from me then. Because he's left my outer threat range. Because I don't threat close to me with the glaive. I threat beyond that. So see with the green circle I've made.
I see. So when he's up, because it's not within the glaive's attack range,
passed
that counts
through
in
your
me.
range.
I understand. By all means, Galarick Doom Driven. Strike.
30.
So he moves forward, arrogant as you like, but the great sword is low, and you strike, and it is true. What is it like as you... Well, do your damage, and then we'll find out.
Plus 7. Didn't declare it. I was going to say it, so it's just that. Maximilian, 17 points of damage.
You watch as he's being knitted together by consuming Pop's magic, and it's almost like you're seeing the odd trace glimmers of what Pop's magic is like building off him as he's healing his scales back. But then smash! You push all that good work back inside as you completely wound a good portion of the health that he reclaimed. And he snarls with fury at that. It is now your turn, Pop.
Pop, seeing the eating of the spell, and goes, yes, very clever, very clever. It won't help you. Silence! And he will cast silence on Galarick. Fuck you. 20-foot radius still.
Excellent.
What's the radius, sorry?
20 foot.
20 foot.
Very clever. Very clever. Okay, so yeah, silence falls once again, this time centered on Galarick.
Sorry, Galarick, you're going to have to be quiet.
Okay, there's a silence radius, and I know my bit where I don't. So yeah, there we go.
Okay. With that, if there's nothing else, Pop?
I can't do anything else. I can only act once. Moment.
Flis, it is your turn.
Well, I might actually be able to do something. Let's have a go at some sort of
Have a
action.
go at him.
He's in my range because I'm dark. And this does count as a standard action, but I'm going to probably assume that the follow-up that I would normally get, even though it's a single action, will be a no-go because I'm slowed. But I'm going to try and trip him.
Yes, very good.
So, because I'm large, because I've had all the potions and all of that, but I'm slowed, so it's -1, so it's going to be on his touch armor class.
Yes.
To start with. And we'll lower that by 1. Oh no, rolled a 1. I rolled a 1.
Possibly a fumble.
This is the worst combat I've ever seen.
It's well...
This is going so badly. I have not done anything.
And yet it's going so well for me.
25?
That is not a fumble. It's not a fumble, but it is a miss. So, because you rolled a 1, so that's...
Oh, because it's on his touch, isn't it?
Yeah, you missed, because you rolled a critical fail, so unfortunately that stops you from doing so. Yeah.
Another round of that gone.
He is going to... Well, it's not... What am I doing? That was Fleece's turn. Galarick, is your turn.
Excellent. I'm going to take a 5-foot step to there. Sorry. So yeah, I'm just going to go into him with a full round of attacks. Attack numero uno. 17.
Parries with his sword.
Second.
Catches your glaive high and then draws it aside.
Galarick just sort of casts some shade at Pop.
Don't need this. Although I'm silent as well.
I mean, so is Flis as well. We're all silent. It's just a...
And as we're back to the top of the round, there's a... vroom, 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 and Klorakhar explodes into the gap in the tower. a terrible roar. Can you all please make a will save as you all fall into his terrifying presence?
Sweet mother of God.
Frightful presence.
23.
25.
23, 25.
Oh, and a 1.
Mate, I mean, I was never going to make it anyway. It could be a 1 or a 10 or a 1. I was never going to do it.
So, Pop and Galarick, I'd like you both to describe how the pair of you are faced with a roaring dragon, yet you don't blink.
Pop steps directly behind Galarick.
And as we see Pop go behind Galarick, what are you doing when you see this dragon come through and you beat the save of Frightful Presence?
Galarick just closed his eyes for a split second, just thinks, I faced worse. I can do this.
Okay,
Opens his eyes.
I'm gonna roll this publicly as well. Flis, you are shaken for 13 rounds.
13 rounds. Shaken, slowed. Half his health's gone. I said we were going to die. I said he was prepared to die. I did nothing. I've nothing so far.
So he's moved in, he's landed and gone brah, and like given a blazing roar. But of course, that roar is only the precursor of something far more terrible. Aiming with terrible point blank accuracy here, he opens his mouth wide, and a cacophony of green corrosive power surges out, and I believe that's going to get all of you. I'm just going to quickly get the measure once more. If I could... There we go. Yeah, through all of your squares.
Oh, no.
Also through his friend's square there.
It's through what, sorry?
It's through his friend's square.
It
And
is.
Delver.
It is. It is.
Shit.
It is. And the thing is, Maxim has the information he needs. He doesn't need Delver anymore. Can you all please make a reflex saving throw? And make it good.
It won't be. What does Shaken do again? Shaken
Minus
2 to attack saves and checks.
Thank you.
There's the answer.
Thank you, Ansel.
So -2, and then also another minus. Right, so this is my dexterity, my reflex at the moment.
I'm gonna just so you guys know, I'm using a roller on my phone just for brevity.
I still rolled, I mean, not well at 13.
But the same as me.
It's +0, so.
Pop, was that 25?
No, it was 22.
I'm sorry, 22. I looked at 22 and said 25. I don't know why. Pop, you succeed. So you are only going to take half of this. Galarick, Flis, you take 37 points of acid damage.
So that's 27.
So mine is
So whatever half of 37 is, sorry Dom, it's an awkward number.
18.
Yeah.
I am on -1.
Oh!
Let's not act shocked. He literally hasn't moved for the whole combat. Appalling. Worst way to die. Just awful.
-1.
I'm going to roll as well to see when that will come back. Oh. You're -1 as well, Galarick, did you say?
No, I was just checking, was it -1?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I am on -1 at the moment. Just got to check because I'm raging. But what happens with rage at this point?
Oh, so when you
get knocked
know.
unconscious,
I
what
don't-
happens with rage? Does it end?
Well,
well-
Constitution lowers.
Well, Matt, what
Right,
I will
right.
ask you to do, if you want to look into that, because we'll just complete this round, and then I will, we'll
will
talk.
let you know
Yeah,
at the end
yeah.
of this round.
That was Klorokhar's turn. It arrived. You fell into its presence, and he immediately just let blast with that terrible acid breath that had long been foreshadowed. Maxym is going to provoke an attack of opportunity off you, Galarick.
Yeah.
No. He? Yes, he will. He doesn't need to speak to do this, though, so he can do this in a zone of silence. In a silence area.
But it provokes an attack.
It will provoke an attack of opportunity. It is a
27.
invocation. That is a hit. He throws his arms wide as if to do something, but you deliver a powerful strike.
14.
Okay, he has to make a concentration check now.
24.
Yes, it is 24. That is a failure. He goes to do something, Galarick, and then you interrupt him with a BAM! You smash him with the glaive. As he tries to cast, he fails. He is then going to use his movement to... it's half. He's going to climb onto Klorakhar.
Hang on a second. I need to just check one thing.
Just so you're aware, boys, I know what the rule is now. I'm ready to explain.
We'll get there, mate. 1 second.
Yep, no rush. When you're ready, let me know.
Yeah, he's going to...
Okay.
I just
yes,
wish...
I've never done this before, but I can.
Okay, what are you... Tell me what you're talking about, and we can do that whilst I'm doing this.
So, one of my feats I have, which I have never used, but is a sort of a gateway feat, is combat reflexes. And it means I can actually take 2 attacks of opportunity around.
Okay, so as he is withdrawing onto Klorakhar, you can strike again.
Because the first one was an action, the second is him leaving. 31, one off a possible threat.
Oh my god. A great gout of greenish blood arcs from like the side of his neck as you just stab into him. And he goes, "Wah!" And you see flash across his eyes like a moment of concern. Oh, that hurt. The first time as well, it looks like that Maxym is concerned. Very good. And that was him moving. That's all he can do. Yeah, that's him. Pop, it's your turn. You watch as this is all happening. You watch as the cloud of green gas dissipates. You see that Flis is no longer standing. Galarick is still defiantly holding ground against him. What do you do?
I attempt to shout at Pop.
Can I, before you act, tell you what actually happened to Flis?
Sure.
We're gonna... Okay.
Just because it happened on his turn, it might impact how you act, is all.
Yeah.
So the general consensus online is that rage ends when you are knocked unconscious. So I'm not on -1, I'm on -11.
Oh
Eek.
no.
There you go, simple as that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Flis. Well,
I mean,
we'll get to that. Pop, you're looking and Flis looks like he's lying there motionless.
It's not really anything I can do about that, even if I could. Can't do one thing around anyway. Pop is going to cast Ghost Sound.
Okay.
And he's going to make it sound as if Maxym is somewhere in the room saying, "No, you fool, it's an illusion! The man on your back is an enemy!"
Okay.
Create.
It's probably not going to work, but it's funny.
Does that have a your? No, it's just ghost sounds. So he's not gonna. You're not casting at him at all, so that won't affect spell resistance. I don't imagine for the
No, 'cause,
dragon.
I would create sound in the room. It's not on the. It's not on him.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. He has to interact with it to determine whether it's true or false.
I guess by hearing it, that's interacting with it.
Okay. Well, we'll come to that.
It's disbelief, isn't it?
So okay. So you've cast that. Is there anything else you can do in your turn?
No, because that is a level 0 spell, which still costs me a standard action.
I don't mean to be evil, but you are in your own thing of silence. Can you cast spells still?
I can.
You can, that's fine.
Silence
Just checking,
spell.
just checking. Of course, yes, perfect. Why wouldn't you? Nothing else then, Pop?
Nope.
Flis, minus 11.
Yeah, I'm dead.
We'll talk about that then. Galarick, you watch as Flis just falls back, and acid is just burning into him as he does so, motionless on the ground.
I mean, Galarick wouldn't know that Flis is... He's thinking he's dying. I can possibly help him. Not, he's down.
Yeah.
And so Galarick will take a 5-foot step over there. He would channel essentially through his glaive, using his glaive to reach down to him and use lay on hands. He would use all of his lay on hands, which would be 10. Now, previously, Galarick would have thought that may have been enough. Regardless, he spends 10 hit points, all of his lay on hands, on...
Would it, if you tried to do that to an inanimate object, would it go into the inanimate object, or would it just not leave you?
I'm just doing it as a...
He's on the square that you're next to. That's fine. I can
Yeah.
say he can reach you. Yeah.
I could reach down to it with my hand, but I just thought the image of him kind of reaching through his glaive.
Well, this is it. You're reaching down, and as you do the light. Is there anything else you can do on your turn? I should ask before I say.
Yes,
what
I will take my actual move action to quaff a potion.
Okay.
So I've done a 5-foot step, standard action, lay on hands.
You
move
are,
action.
I'm afraid, within the reach of a green dragon whilst you are taking
I'm
that
fully
potion.
aware, but
So he will
Flis's priority.
take the attack of opportunity, which I didn't declare whilst you were doing the healing, so it will be as you're taking the potion. Armor class.
Against him is 23.
That is a hit.
Let me blur it.
Of course.
1 to 20 is just...
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
His terrible bite comes down.
Oh! As I reach to Flis. Ah! My neck.
No. Okay, where's this? Where's the other? I'll just roll that again. That is, from a single bite, 19 points of piercing damage.
Yowzers.
His horrible bite sinks into you, Galarick, as he's hearing the words from Pop saying about "It's an illusion, you fool," in Maxym's voice. And as Flis lies there, we will determine what happens with that healing. We will determine what happens with the dragon. We will determine what happens in the rest of this combat when we come back after a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. we return. And we are back to the top of the round. Klorakhar the Corrosive bears over the field of conflict, and he spreads his wings wide that just cast a complete shadow across the whole area. The only thing that can be seen of any light source within here at the moment is just a bubbling green viscous material that has spread across the fallen form of Flis. Klorakhar is looking upon all of you, determining which will be his next target. But then he hears a voice. A voice of trickery. What was the exact thing that Pop said to him in the voice of Maxym?
I believe it was, "No, you fool, it's an illusion. The man on your back is an intruder."
Okay, so this requires investigation, which is going to be a will save of disbelieving, because he has to investigate for himself to get the will save. So, craning his neck, he's going to look around at his own back to see where Maxym has just clambered onto him, and is going to do a will save. What is?
It's a mighty 17 because it's a 0 level spell.
0.
I promise you, I'm happy to tell you that Klorakhar has a plus 15 to his will save.
What?
He's not just any old dragon. But I just rolled 2 on the die, which makes that 17, which means he meets, he does not exceed. He fails, he turns round and sees that Maxym is not who he thinks he is, and is immediately going to try and hurl the rider off him. So that is just going to be an opposed strength between the dragon and Maxym. Klorakhar gives sort of like a bucking move akin to the longest horse in creation. Shakes with his great craning neck, and Maxym, failing the opposed roll, is hurled out of the gap, out of the tower. And vanishes from view. With the investigation and that attempt to throw him off, that is Klorakhar's turn. And Maxym vanishes out of sight. Pop, it is your turn.
Oh man. I'm not going to get him twice, am I? So,
I promise you, I expected that to be a failure, but he fully just nailed. So what do you do with this seconds of advantage that you've bought yourself?
I should have thought about this. I genuinely didn't think it was going to work.
You just watch him fall out of the tower, and as you recall, there's no base at that point. That's just straight down. He's falling out of the tower and down into the water. So
amazing. Apologies, folks. I should have thought about this more.
That's okay. Every move is crucial, so don't worry about it.
I would be exactly the same with spells, man. It's really hard to come up with the right options against.
Yeah, especially
mega dragon
as well.
It's really, really rough.
And really, it's understandable. This is an unharmed, huge dragon, and you are not at your fighting fit state. So,
I'm gonna turn myself invisible. I think it's the best thing I can do for now.
Pop vanishes from sight.
in such a way that it looks as if by throwing the guy off, I have vanished with the act. Pop will even do a little as he goes.
Very good. No movement or anything, you're just going to stay where you are?
I can't move, I've only got one action.
Of course. That is still active for another few moments. Very good. That is Pop's turn. Flis.
This will be confusing to anybody that was watching before the break.
Well, it's going to be confusing because we have already discussed this and have determined our ruling on the situation. There is a twitching from amidst the corrosive vapours that rise from the centre of the chamber. As you rise with the healing that was bestowed upon you by Galarick Doomdriven, you may act.
See end of episode.
We have recorded the discussion that led to our ruling in this, and I hope you will all be as satisfied as we are with the conclusion we came to. I personally am.
The long and short of it is that I'm still raging, which is still relevant in this situation.
It's still relevant,
so
and
in my
keeps
rage,
him alive,
because I have
yes.
the fly spell still on me, I don't need to do anything to stand, because I'm technically just floating in the air. So what I'm going to do is fly. I mean, I can move way further than this anyway, so I'm just going to fly over to this wall. And I can, after I've moved, I can only take one potion, can't I?
So you've moved. If you're going to do anything else, would the dragon take an attack opportunity? This is the problem.
Oh, can it reach me? It
Yeah.
could reach me where I was, could it?
I think so.
Bollocks.
I think so.
I mean, if it does, I'm probably dead anyway. And if I take a potion, it also gets an attack of opportunity.
What you were in those 4 squares? Yeah, there. Yes.
And
if
also, thinking about it, I'm slowed, so I can't just withdraw when I'm slowed. So we're back to the same issue before. I can't do anything.
you can attack.
I can attack, but I will die on the next round if it goes for me. And also, I can't attack. It's out of my range, and I can't get close enough to it to attack. And
Oh,
attack
I thought
'cause I'm slowed.
no, but Matt, you're not
once-
in the wrong. You're not in the right squares. You're in these squares before.
Was I?
Yeah.
Yes.
I here?
Yeah, you were there. So you can reach.
Here. I don't want to cheat. I'll see it.
I don't think you were. I don't think you were.
I'm with Rob in this. You were.
Don't make me go and load the video of the first half of the session. You were there! You were! Right, okay, and if I'm wrong, then apologies, viewers. I'm not trying to cheat to save them. I told them at the start this was going to be dangerous. I told them this would be down the line! Let's do this. You were in those squares. You can attack if you wish, or you can move.
Attack him
Broken
one
attack opportunity.
time. It's literally all I can do. I can't do anything unless I get an attack opportunity that will probably kill me, so I'm just going to attack it.
Was it last round that it...
I might get one hit in before I die. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Make your attack.
So with all the potions and with the large and with the greater magic weapon, I have roughly figured out, because it's really hard to figure out all the rules on this, that my new attack, and this is without any power attack because I don't know how tough this thing is, one single attack, but because I'm slowed, I get a -1 penalty. So I'll take that back off. One attack. 34.
You smash Klorakhar really hard. That's a direct hit.
Hard. And this is without any... this is just rage, but because I'm large as well.
Yeah.
And 2 1s in there. Oh, 30 points of damage. That's about what I do with a normal hit. God damn it.
It looks around, and then all of a sudden you're back on your feet, and you just slam him with this terrible attack. And whilst you strike, I have to ask, does your axe... I think I ask every time. Does it count as magic?
It doesn't. And Rob, just out of curiosity, would a 34, 33, would a 32 have still hit him?
Yes.
Good, because I didn't take off the 2 for shaken as well.
Of course.
Because I've noticed I'm -1 for slow, I'm
yes,
-3
of course,
for slow
yes.
and shaken.
No, you would still hit him with that.
Do anything to damage, it would seem.
So the strike smashes into him.
It is magic. Yeah, because I've got greater magic weapon on my.
That's right, of course. So where there would be resistance, your axe just passes through that resistance, delivering the full amount of damage.
Some of his skin is gone.
Yes.
He's just been partially melted away. He's like on his chest, some of his armor's, kind of hanging off, and you can see a couple of ribs. Seriously, he's melted. Pouring blood.
Incredible.
But he took the only action available to him. And there it was. Tip.
So, with that, Flis is struck. That is your turn.
That's all I can do.
Galarick, it is your turn.
Seeing Flis stand, Galarick lets out a mighty.
A silenced yell.
As Galarick shouts at the dragon Klorakhar. Galarick is just going to go through full attack. He can just get the corner of him and just gauge at this point, really. First hit, 30.
Is a hit.
I forgot to say at the start, I would have. Part of that was issuing a challenge to him.
That's fine. We're still in the turn. That's fine.
Yep.
Second
hit. I know that's not. So 1 hit.
1 hit.
And it is a magic glaive.
Yeah, magic glaive, yeah. With your hellfire on top of it, of course.
Yes. 20 points.
Very good. It gives out a bellow as you strike it. But as we move back to the top of the round, the dragon has a sense of realization fall upon it across itself as it dawns on him that he has thrown Chapter General Maxym out of the tower. And as much as he wishes to devour all of you, it is within an oath, a draconic oath that you aren't even aware of, that insists upon the dragon coming to the aid of its master above all else. So it provokes an attack of opportunity as it will pull itself out of the tower.
Yes.
I can't take attacks of opportunity.
You can't, so Galarick.
Possibly a fumble.
Okay.
That's most certainly a fumble.
Double
For the sake of
rolls.
If this comes up with hit teammate, I am going to wet myself laughing.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
I mean,
can you
both
actually
you
imagine?
and Hopper in range.
No, because this will be the most genius. This is following the tradition of Mike killing me.
Right.
The fates are intervening. Don't actually kill me, though.
There are many things that could result in that, to be fair. So, Galarick, please roll a D100.
Do it.
21.
Please perform a DC 20 dexterity check or fall prone and be stunned for 1d4 rounds.
Oh my god,
Just
for 1d4?
just as you bought yourself time, Galarick is robbed of 1d4 rounds if he fails. DC 20 dexterity.
I have to roll a 20.
Let's roll a 20. You didn't roll a 20. I told you to roll a 20.
It's on the inside, yes.
So you whiff the strike and you're on the edge of that thing. Your foot just goes shy of the edge and you don't fall off the edge, but you just crumple down and fall down. Roll a d4 for me, please. How many rounds are you stunned? Of course, you roll the maximum amount. I don't think there's any breaking you out of being stunned either, unless it's like some kind of action or something. I'm not sure, but maybe one of you can look into that. Maybe Mike, you can look into that. Otherwise, look, you have 4 rounds to look for that. So Klorakhar goes. Maxym is vanished. Pop, it is your turn. You are invisible. Oh, I'm so sorry. With Maxym has fallen, that means that we're now at the top of that round. It's now past his turn. Slow dissipates.
Oh my god! Thank God for that.
You have a very brief window of opportunity. As in fact, you know what? For tension's sake, the dragon is going to vanish down into the water after his master.
We need to get the hell out of here. Are we agreed?
It has not gone well for me at all.
Yes? Leave?
Well, whose turn is it? We're still in rounds.
So it is Pop's turn, and you are no longer slowed.
Pop says silently.
Fuck. 10 feet back.
So, Pop is saying that you should run. Is there anything you do on your turn, Pop?
I will use my final level 5 spell. Level 5? I don't have that many. Level 3. Not that powerful
and
yet.
And my first level 9 spell.
Yes.
Do you know what? Me too.
Could do with a wish right now.
I will cast haste upon us all.
Galarick's not moving much, but he is kind of moving quicker on the floors.
Yeah, Gallery looks totally out of it.
If we exit through the other end, there's a window here. If we go through that, if you can squeeze through that, Flis, we can at least disguise our exit.
I am very sorry to say this, and I don't want to piss on your strawberries, okay? I don't want to be the downer, but I'm feeling a bit downer after this fight.
You're all saying it quite quietly.
I'll drop the silence.
Haste, I don't think works on fly anyway, so it won't double the speed of fly.
Including land movement, burrow, climb, fly, and swim speed.
Oh, okay. I still have to carry you, Galarick, and Delver, and even then, that will be 120 feet. We are nowhere near faster than the dragon.
We don't need to get, away. We just need to get out of here. We need to go and hide. You're huge. You can carry 3 people.
Oh, I am.
Especially one of us is small.
Well, I'm large. I'm sort of classed as huge.
Yes.
Yes, actually, I forgot I was enlarged. Not for much longer. But I am
just
still
need
enlarged.
to get somewhere to hide.
Okay, on my turn, then I will. Yeah, gather you guys up, and we'll make a run for it.
Fly.
Very good.
Really
so,
feels...
snatching up Galarick and Delver is the goal. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have one under each arm.
I didn't ask you to do a check when you flew over here, so I won't ask you to do one now. We'll say that your base strength is enough for you to move.
Oh, I think. Well, I mean, I'm on plus 10 strength at the moment, modifier.
Yeah, I won't bother asking anyway. Yeah, you're able to move then. In that case, you're able to hustle. So we're gonna do this by the movement. So how far can you move?
So fly is 60, I think.
Yes, that sounds right to me.
You get a fly speed of 60 feet.
Plus 30 from.
So
haste.
It'll be plus 30 from haste, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it up to a maximum of plus 30? The haste.
Yeah, it's 30 feet to a
60,
maximum
70, 80,
of double
90.
your
So
speed.
we can move at
Yeah.
90.
Okay. So if you want to
take my glaive.
move
I'm
them,
not
then
strong enough. No, I
Take
am.
my
I'll
glaive.
grab your fucking glaive.
I sort of don't know where it is you want to go. Where do you want to go and try and hide here, boys? Because I haven't got a clue where we could hide. Because we can't just run away. It will catch us easily.
We can go and ask help from the elf.
Back where we were before.
Well, he's not watching us at the moment. We could... No, we're visible. They'll see. The guy on the watchtower will see. All they've got to do is ask him if we go in there and hide. I was thinking in the barracks. And if we go back where we were before, they'll just come in. Get us. Shit, I really don't know. Where could we go?
you know that if you come out of this here, this is a doorway, by the way, I should say, not a window. Both of these are doors that lead to the staircase that leads to that drawbridge that you know is the wheel is on this side, so you can ascertain that you can drop that. That of course requires you to run in open view of the skies, of course.
Yeah.
You gotta choose somewhere where you're gonna go then. Yeah, obviously you don't need the bridge.
I
we can ignore
don't
that.
know.
I'm gonna have to ask you to tell me soon.
Well, we've got to go up and out, haven't we? So partially my movement, I'm just moving me because I can't move.
So you want to go up the
partially,
tower?
my movement is going to be up and out on the roof.
So not through the door, up.
Why not through the door?
Oh, are we at the base of the tower?
Yes, you went down the tower.
Yeah, it's
remember?
hollow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I was, here?
Eaten away
so
by the
I'm gonna
acid.
gather everybody, which is going to take some of my movement. How much of my movement do you want to say I used in gathering everybody up?
You don't, that's fine.
A standard action.
So, move out the door. Tell me when I'm on 90. I can't really
There.
see this thing. 90. So,
You're
I
out
mean,
there,
that's
mate.
as far as I can go is in that direction. So, I guess the first round will be to there.
Yep, I'll keep pinging it if you guys want to move yourselves over there.
Yeah. About there? Is that right? Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
I should ask, with Flis carrying us and Delver, does Delver still look alive?
You can give me a heal check.
This is me checking while still a bit out of it. No, I've no clue.
He looks motionless. He doesn't look to be breathing.
See the guy on the roof, do you reckon he's got any capability for healing, at least? Maybe if we can't get away, we could at least...
Sorry, are you talking about the elf?
the elf.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about that one lone orc.
Can that orc help us
We
in any
would
way?
at least go to Avarius
Help us,
now
orc.
and say, look, can you help us? Do you know, have you got any healing potions? We have money, we can pay you, but like, at least we can get back up to full and have another attempt. We've
Least
injured
as you are Supermaning it, as you are like burning through the sky, like holding the stunned Galarick pop around your neck, and also with Delver under your arm, you have the echoing words of Avarios. When one holds evil in their heart, it is very difficult for them to see good in the world. And you know that this dragon and its master are the epitome of evil that you've ever witnessed in your life. This, perhaps, is your only chance to hide from the gaze of the dragon.
Oh, yeah. Because he had an invisibility thing around him, didn't he?
Of sorts.
Well, it was against evil creatures.
Yeah.
Specifically.
So that's what we'll do. We'll enter that area, but I'm saying that we can go back into combat. I just don't see, like, running away. We've damaged them.
I'm out untapped.
I'm annoyed. I didn't get a thing of hurt. I want to fight.
How much
Hit the
could
dragon.
heal? To be fair, there's potential it won't be able to heal. Both of them won't be able to heal much if we take a long rest.
And our objective was to recover Delver, which we
That is true.
Well, your objective is to learn what Delver knows specifically.
Yeah.
Which may
It's just that
not
also I've
have been
used my
achieved.
2 most powerful potions that I have, and they've amounted to nothing.
This effectively has taken the turn of the round of you to moving because it's involving movement of everyone. But that's fine. I'm happy to do that because we are sort of in a respite
round.
So,
and then on the next round, I'll obviously move into the air. I'll go towards him.
well, hang on, because we've done a round. I'm now going to continue where we left off. So, and Galarick, don't forget to tick your stunned counter, please.
Yes, I
Yep.
will say that as I picked up Galarick, I picked up his weapon and put it in whatever holster he has, because
That's
he
fine.
would have dropped it being stunned.
You
And
had
I
a
can
moment
still talk, I was going
where
to pop
you can all gather. There is a slight moment where we'll say we were just shy of initiative order when you were able to do that. I'm fine with that. And also, just for simplicity, I'm going to quickly grab Delver as well and move him along with you. Let's see. Here he is. There he is. Okay, in fact, I'll give him control to you guys so you can move him where you want him to go.
Do you feel in control?
Do you feel control? All players have control. So you can move Delver. Okay. You and I want you to imagine this is the top of the tower that you see. You hear the beat of wings. And raining water off his slick scales, you see Klorakhar on high, landing on the tower, and retrieved from the water is a drowned-looking, but very annoyed and filled with rage, Chapter General Maxym.
You know,
Find them! Find them! That was their turn. We're back to you guys. Can you reach Averios with your movement?
yeah, easy.
Boom.
I could get past him, so yeah, no problem.
And as you move to Averios, you just watch, and the elf is no longer sat serenely in a meditative pose. He looks at you with just cold, vacant, white eyes. No pupils at all. Just observing you as you all clatter to the ground in front of him. And he watches as Klorakhar, with a single beat of his wings, with Maxym astride him, just shoot into the air and begin a patrolling perimeter, searching for you. For the time being, we are out of initiative.
We're out of initiative, okay. I take a potion as quickly as is humanly possible, just as my rage is about to end, because I had 1 round of rage left and would have dropped very much unconscious again. So I will take a potion. I only have Cure Light, which does 1d8 plus 10. Is that right?
1d8 plus 5 for light, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's 6. Great, lovely. I'm really glad of that 6. That's fine, because that just puts me, at least so I don't die instantly when rage ends.
Pop will go to Averius. My good man, would you lend us shelter?
I have already lent you shelter, and I will gladly do so again. You are lucky to be alive.
We may have not quite estimated the level of threat perfectly. But we achieved our objective, sort of. So, sort of a win? Sort of a win? Let's not fight the dragon again.
You have done a good thing. While I am able to obscure myself from the threats of this place, it saddened me that I was not able to help my distant kin, and he gestures to the motionless Delver. It seems that the evil that was used to torture this one was the very thing that protected him from the acid that coats all of you. As I understand it, the servant of Erythnul has a tendency to offer resistance to his acidic powers, so to better prolong the lives of those that he tortures for information. And it's clear that Delver is benefiting from the same reduction of acid damage as you guys.
Not me. I didn't get a chance to take that
If we
potion.
had chance to take the potions.
That's
Just
clear,
me, I think.
Yes. Sorry, yes, it was just you.
For as long as it will last, which isn't much longer. But it's half an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say it should last a while.
Yeah,
It depends what
was,
we're doing for 30 minutes.
I think it was about 30 minutes or something, wasn't it?
Yes.
I will offer you sanctuary here. There will be no finding you. At least whilst you are in my company. And by that, and he points to you, Pop, that is about the circumference of this particular tower here. So this 5 foot next to you, Pop, would be outside of that. We're looking at that sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hectagonal shape. Octagonal shape? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yes.
Counting with friends.
This is what the people came to see.
This is what they came for. It's just extreme counting with a story painted on the top. So, you are safe whilst you are within these bounds and these bounds alone. As for moving from this place, that is something that you will have to determine. My place remains here. I must continue my vigil.
Well, I see no reason to ever leave. Personally, this seems like the
Oh, it's
safest
perfect.
place for miles around.
It is the perfect holiday home, yes.
Can we just check in on this Delver? This drow. Sorry, my mind's still a bit fuzzled, but is he alive? I can't tell.
He lives. He lives.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That's...
But barely. I have some supplies that I can offer.
I've used all of my healing now. I have none left, and I'm still down by 42 hit points.
I would gladly offer you supplies to help you in your predicament.
Oh, it feels dirty.
But of course, and though I am loath to ask, I do wish to know what service I help first. Why would the ones I've seen in my dreams seek this drow so desperately that you would wander openly into the lair of Klorakhar and his fiendish master?
In our defense, it wasn't entirely open.
We did try to hide.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the illusion of a dragon icon. Quite impressive to draw the dragon away, but only temporarily, sadly.
I did notice that. I was impressed with the craftsmanship of the image.
our good friend, or good friend to be, hopefully, Delver here has some information apparently that would be useful for us.
And what information would that be?
Hasn't he, or this
Yeah, I thought maybe.
Various already knows, right? Like,
He knows that you have come looking for something.
Yeah.
He has seen you in his dreams. He does not know the specifics. At least he says that he doesn't know the specifics. Whether he's saying this is a test, you don't know. But he's straight up asking you what it is that you're trying to get from Delver. If you would share this with me...
Subterfuge has not really worked thus far, so he's just going to say,
Subterfuge worked perfectly until you attacked.
Well, he was very much about to commit a heinous act with his ship, wasn't he, and possibly wipe out another settlement of some sort or something. So we.
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah, I think so. I think he says that out loud.
I have some good news for you. Maxym is not in command of the ship that you mention.
A few moments ago, he was about to issue an order to the ship, the Vanquisher.
A hail, perhaps, to speak with them, but he is not the one on board, and nor is he the one that commands that vessel. I have seen that powerful monstrosity contraption, too. He has an alliance, as I have deemed it, what with their movements back and forth between Tidewatch, an alliance with the Dominion. That is a Dominion vessel. Perhaps he offers insight as to where it should strike, but he himself... But if he knows what this one knows, then perhaps he was trying to communicate that message to them.
We are of the understanding that this Delver is aware of the location of a thing called the Horzon Lens. That this is an invaluable artifact that we are to find.
Then I am glad you have confirmed this.
Looks like he hasn't got the strength to lie. He's
not trying to hide the fact that he just wanted you guys to sort of be a bit open with him, and he clearly says, this is something that I know that the Dominion seek, this lens. And I know something of its power. In return for a great amount of healing and a night's secured rest, I would ask that if you are to ever recover such an item, you would consider using it in this location. Or using it to look upon this location, for if it's as powerful as they say, it could be quite insightful.
Well,
I see no reason why we could not point it in this direction, although I do not believe we are the ones that are to use it. We are just to retrieve it.
and the problem here,
lucky though, couldn't we?
Maxym potentially already has this information, so...
And he's going to get to it first.
Assuming we don't take action, or he spends the time looking for us, he is one step ahead.
This is very true. At this point, I will shrink, by the way, because that potion is gone. It just diminishes on the floor, and there's a big, giant patch of blood underneath him, and he's just in the middle of it.
There is a rasping voice that utters from the ground. He thinks he knows. He thinks he knows. The voice comes from the drow. It is weak, exhausted. But he says, he thinks he knows where it is. The drow's eyes are open, and one is still a brilliant crimson red. The other is dull and grey, blinded from the acid strike that has damaged the left side of his face. And who do I have to thank for my extraction?
The sex pigs.
The sex pigs. He does not speak for us.
Thought we had come to this agreement, huh?
That caught me so off guard.
Sorry.
That caught me so off guard. And that's what you'll be named from now on. It's the tradition. That's the tradition. Go back to the last campaign. That's how it happened last time. Go back to Transformers the movie in 1986. And that's how it happened there too.
Yes, all right, fine. As a party, we don't actually have a name, but we were sent to you by Captain Walwart.
Sage.
Walwart. I know the name, but you said another you said another stranger.
I believe it was one of the sages for Lord Arturian.
I know one sage. Yes.
Do you know his real name?
I do.
I just have. Oh.
And while I am very grateful for your assistance, there is perhaps more pressing matters at hand.
Yes. What exactly does Maxym think he knows?
He believes
Just so we know where not to go.
I held back from telling him anything. Days I have been in captivity. He was able to find me. My location betrayed. I do not know how. But in an open contest with him, surprised as I was bested. And for days, they have sought that information from me. The location of an artifact that can change the face of this war. It is, as you say, the Horzon Lens. A divination artifact that will allow the user to look upon any place in this wide world. But it is, in fact, much more powerful. More powerful than has been let on. Its abilities kept secret for such a long time. Now the Dominion know everything but where it is. They know it can be used to see anything in the world. It can also be used to see anything beyond it. It can be used to look beyond the veil into other worlds. Far worlds. Worlds beyond comprehension. And not only look, target.
Are you saying you can
Yes.
form magic through?
Yes. Anyone, anywhere, vulnerable to magical attack. That combined with the power of the Vanquisher means the Dominion could strike with that power anywhere in the world. Anywhere, in any world. The war would be over with one shot. And he doubles over.
To me, a little bit like such an artifact should be destroyed.
I do not disagree with you. But it was only until recently that the device was located. For the longest time, many, even the wise sage that you mentioned, thought that this artifact must have been hidden away in the most difficult to reach location within this realm. Long we believed it to lie deep beneath the waves, hidden within the ruins of Erythnul. But that is not its secret. I can show you where the Horizon Lens is. I cannot tell you what lies beneath the water.
We are happy for you to show us, but first we need to escape this place. And in order to do so, we need to be in better health than we are, he says.
Yourself included. Good
Indeed.
Mr. Del,
I believe we have both suffered significant dissolving.
Avarios gestures and says, "You may rest. There is plenty of room for you to recover here. You will be safe for the evening. And during that evening, you may learn all that you need to from your newfound friend. But I would urge you to take the provisions I offer, and in return, agree to my terms."
We do not disagree with your terms. I think the problem is we do not know how to use this thing. I think what you are saying then is if you know how this thing works, you want us to destroy this location.
I want you to learn its secret. You tried to look upon Erythnul and you failed. You were unable to see the truth of the place. With the artifact that I have heard speak of these past days, you would be ready to see it.
why are you so keen for us to see it?
Let us say that for all the powers in the world, foresight is not one that is ever looked upon with any consideration. If you are to see the secret of Erythnul, it will accelerate the salvation of all.
Well, personally, I have never found that more knowledge is a bad thing. I would be happy to look upon the location should we find the aforementioned artifact. I don't know about you two, but I wouldn't be against it.
I would have no problem with this.
I trust your judgment.
Good. Good. And he looks like pretty adamant when he says good, like almost relieved when you agree. And he will say, there are supplies within. You may heal, you may rest. I will tend to my distant kin. But you will be free to ask him anything whilst I work. Delver says, if you have a map, I will be glad to show you. I will be glad to show you where the Horizon Lens is. You speak the sage's name, and that is enough for me to trust you implicitly.
Can I sense motive? I do trust him, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think we can all have a go at
Yeah, please do.
20 for Pop.
15 for Flis.
I don't think I'll do better than that, but worth a shot. 13.
We'll start with Flis. Flis, you get a legitimate, earnest read from the drow. 15 is really good. A really good roll. You you sense that he's not giving away everything about the sage, and if anything is attempted to deflect from the discussion of that person. But you can tell that he's telling the truth, that he does trust in that person. Pop, further to that with the 20, not only do you detect that he's trying to deflect from the issue of the sage, he's also slightly afraid of the discussion too. Nervous of it.
In that case, let's prod around a little. Pop will say, the great sage actually said he was part of a large order. You know much about them. Seemed odd that someone would describe themselves as a sage rather than their own name.
The sage is famously cagey about offering his name, though he would have told you it in his first meeting of you.
But he did not. We did not ask.
I can assure you he did tell you whether you asked or not.
Did he? I thought we talked about this last time, that we never asked his bloody name, because none of us have got it in our name.
You didn't ask, but he did tell you, but he just didn't tell you in a very obvious way. For those watching, you can check the description of this video. I'll put the exact time the sage's name is said in the first session of this campaign in the notes.
I'm gonna go back and watch it. The hell!
He will say, I know his name, and I will share it if that is in any way means to build a bond between us. I owe you my life.
Well, it couldn't hurt, did it, to know somebody's name? We are doing him a favour, after all.
He, I am certain, would have already shared it. It's a way of promising someone that he meets, in a way. Forming a bond. His name is Incando. At least that's the name that I know him as. By accounts, he goes by others. But that is the one I know.
Interesting. And would you describe him as a friend or just an acquaintance?
He's quiet for a long time, and then he says, an ally. The sages, at least as I understand, are a secretive order. But I too work for such an organization. I am a servant of the Court of Whispers. And it goes without saying that many guilds and cults and organizations and churches and movements in Main Realm, many have secrets to keep and purposes to share and not share. The sages are said to be wise figures that appear in critical moments of history, offering wisdom, but they are compelled by oath not to be ever involved directly with those events as they transpire. Though, as I understand it, Incando has a habit of being very close to bending those rules. And you remember the battle that raged at the Rushfront, how Incando, the sage, had bolstered the forces of the Reclamation with goodwill, had cast True Strike on the people that were using the Ballistae, for example, all spells that buffed and increased the chances of fate guiding its hand in the right direction, but never being the one to attack, never being the one to cast the spells at the enemy per se. So that matches up in the way that he has behaved when you've known him.
Yes, you can. Thinking back, he does seem to have avoided directly interfering from a certain point of view.
If
And
it
as for the
is,
secrets, go on.
if it is he that sent you, then it is clear that he sent someone rather than going himself.
And as you say, you can barely move for secret societies sometimes. You said he was an ally. The sage is an ally. Do you trust him?
I do.
Difficult to trust.
And I do not trust many people in this world, but I do trust him. Hopefully my trust will be rewarded. It seems it has already been. I am alive. If it wasn't for his message, as you describe it, then I would not be. That said, I believe you mentioned that Arturian sent him Mike. I think you said that, didn't you?
I believe so.
I think you said that earlier. If not, then we can say that you imparted that.
Yes. Yeah.
You definitely said the words Arturian.
So, even if the order came from the high-ranking general in the Reclamation forces, it is still by his will that word was sent in time for you to arrive here at this time. Funny how it works like that. I have many things that I distrust in this world, but distrusting a helping hand, it's not something that I make a habit of. And will continue to do so, as per your example.
Yes, speaking of, would you like to point us in the right direction?
Yes. And he points at the map and he says, I held out as long as I could. And at the right moment, it seems, when you arrived, I gave away the most important bit of information I had been withholding. Maxym believes that the Horizon Lens is at the scale. His draconic bias led him to believe this fact, for it is the resting place of a fallen dragon. The truth is, however, that the Horizon Lens resides in a observatory. At least that's what it appears to be. An observatory that looks not only to the stars, but beyond them into other worlds, using the power of the lens. Atop the great falls to the north of the Rotroot, the pinnacle of this region. And he points out, as I'm pinging, at the very top of the map there is a image of a tower there. The Horizon Lens was a device once used by the Horizon Walkers. These were individuals tasked with defending the borders of our world against unknown threats, against predatory tomorrows, as my friend Swiftstone would like to call them. If you are to recover the Horizon Lens, you must move there.
Damn.
It's a long way.
Well, at the same time, why have I gone Scottish? Because you mentioned someone
You
with a
mentioned
Scottish
Swiftstone.
accent.
That's a good memory.
Oh no,
Swiftstone hasn't been in it. We haven't done Swiftstone for like over a year, so that's good.
Yeah, man, you just mentioned it and I just automatically went towards Scottish. No, this is a very long way, but at the same time, I would be very glad to get back up into the mountains.
I dare say you'll have an advantage. I don't know much about your kin, but I have heard the stories.
Well, I am sort of suffering with a version of altitude sickness. Being at sea level.
It is it is a harsh journey, but one that you will be able to make in 4 days if you push.
But of course, it is the problem to get away from here first. The patrolling.
I doubt that Maxym and his pet stay here for long if they think they know where the lens is. Though
It is as you say this word. No listen check is required. You hear a terrible sound, and it is beyond question what you see. Through the mists that shroud the seas of the Rushfront, there comes the head of a giant dragon. Though that dragon is not Klorakhar. Klorakhar is big, but he's not this big. You see the sight of a vast draconic skull pushing through the borders of vision. each look in wonder, amazement, horror, as this draconic skull is actually mounted onto a great ship that emerges out of the gloom. The Vanquisher, breathing flames from its draconic skull, pushes from the sea, great sails falling away beneath wings. A terrible vessel takes to the sky and begins rising into the distance.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
And that is where we will leave our session tonight.
Skyship.
So, I thought I would leave it there because we will have some things to plan about how you're going to extract from this place, but also lots of other things to do with healing and stuff like that that we can cover another time.
Yes.
I thought it would be a good idea to end with the revelation of such a vessel, brimming as it is with the forces of the Dominion on their way to the wrong location. So at the end of this session, we're going to have a chat like we always do about that, and I think we should ask. Let's go with you, Matt. Because
Let's get me out of the way.
Well, we'll get you out of the way so we can end the line. No. Listen, I know it's awful when you just get kind of locked into a killer situation. What are your thoughts at the end of the session, Matt?
Hey man, at the end of the day, we've had this conversation before, haven't we? We're saying it's I don't mind being clobbered, don't mind missing, just hate being nerfed, held back. It's like when you were a kid and someone would hold your forehead and you couldn't hit them. It's just really annoying. It was very unfortunate. I wasted potions. The potions, like literally the best potions I've been saving for a big combat, took the lot and then didn't do anything with them at all.
No, wasted.
Totally wasted. But he survived.
Just.
Yeah, we sort of looked at the rules and
I think I personally feel we've adhered to the rules, and we will cut in our discussion because I think it's important. I like to think that when we play here, this is our home game. Like that we record this as secondary. We're playing as we've always played. In my opinion, I don't think we change at all from how we've played in person or on online games before we started recording them. And I think it's important to show that those discussions are really important to have.
Yeah. I would only add to that. The
it.
only way we have changed is that we've learned.
True.
Learned the rules better. We are always learning the rules because there's so many rules in 3.5. And obviously, I'm sure there are people watching that might know the rules better than us, and we'll pick up on that. But we are always learning the rules. We're always trying to improve on our knowledge of the rules. We follow them to the best that we can, but we also want to tell a story together, and that's the way that goes. And to us, that situation was, it was unfortunate, and I'm always a bit about character death and how it should be treated, but the rage was dropping, as Galarick came in to heal him, so it kind of worked.
And it doesn't
worked
say
anyway.
explicitly in the description
It's in the
that it
rules.
drops, and
And if I'd have been hit for any more hit points and had dropped way below, then that wouldn't have happened. So as
Exactly.
it turned out, I was only on -1. I was only just into the over the rage health anyway, so it was pretty close.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my experience of that session was frustrating because of the way everything went for me. I did not manage to do anything really of import, and I was hoping for a good scrap, but I survived. So did they. So maybe I'll have a good scrap next time.
You did hit a dragon in the face with an axe.
I did, yeah. I think that's the problem. I feel like I could have landed hits. I could have landed palpable hits.
You've
but
landed over 100 damage in this campaign so far in one strike. So I'm pretty sure that if you get another chance, that it.
I could have done
differently.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
I just wasn't able to. So yeah, we'll see what happens in future. And yeah, that's that. I look forward to traveling north and finding this thing, and I'm glad we got Delver out of there, which is pretty cool.
Me
and
too.
Galarick and Pop have now both saved Flis's life.
Well, let's go with Mike. What are your thoughts at the end of the session?
Ooh, yeah, that was tense, and I think a couple of different saves, and potentially we could have had Maxym on the back burner. We may have even had a chance to deal lethal damage to him.
Yeah.
But I think as much as there was an element of kind of Galarick's want to just purge evil, but also that knightly prestige that comes with it, he does fully agree that Pop made the exact right call, run, which was, yes, I completely agree with you. I think especially where we were and where our provisions had gone, we had no chance against that dragon. Potentially with more provisions, we'd stand a better chance, but as we were, no. Glad we managed to just kind of get Flis out of there as well. But I think Galarick's, although he knows we've done the objective, I think there's part of him there's still evil lingering around, and that just is niggling slightly in the back of his mind.
Yeah. Yes, very insightful. I think you made a good call as well, and you're right about if things had gone differently, like the surprise round was totally whiffed him, didn't you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then imagine if Galarick hadn't
actually, as it turned out, with his armor class.
Exactly,
I think we were
only
really,
just
really close.
Really
to hitting
close.
him.
Yeah. You could hit him. I knew you could hit him for sure. Galarick breaking out as well, like at the opportune time, was able to sort of like draw his attention, and they sort of had their, which in a way, I know it kind of went badly against you, Matt, but it also meant that Galarick had like a one-on-one duel against him, which just the image of those two having a sword fight on those stairs was just fucking cool.
Yes.
And yeah, it could always go a different way. Once again, an invaluable asset to keeping everyone alive. Pop Glistergleam. Dom, what are your thoughts at the end of the session?
Yeah, oh man, that fight. It occurred to me at the end that actually, like, about 60% of the fight, I was like, oh man, I'm being really unlucky. And then it occurred to me by the end, actually, the stuff that got through, I was actually being lucky. Like, the dragon being away for longer, like, that was...
Yeah, he fucked his disbelief check, so it was a round later arriving than I had anticipated. I thought he was just going to go straight away.
Yeah. So that was interesting learning. That was when I was like, yeah, we just need to run, because I'm also completely out of anything other than a level 1 spell, which is not going to help.
Yeah.
And sort of every fight with a Beguiler is like you're just trying to figure out the one spell that might sort of turn things around, and like although it's it's like every time you fail, you're like, ah, shit, I could have done something better there. But actually, that's not really how it works. You just like you're trying to solve the puzzle, and each time you fail, you're just learning that that's not the solution. You're going to try something else. So yeah, it was a fun puzzle to solve, and then I really enjoyed the dragon coming back. And like, because I realised a couple of turns earlier, I was like, if the dragon comes back, I think actually what probably would have happened is they would have flown away. But at the time, I was like, the dragon's going to fucking kill us. So I was like, well, I just need to trick him then, and used my lowest level spell to trick him into thinking he had a baddie on his back.
Which changed the whole thing. No. And I know I always say, oh my god, I promise you I'm not fudging. Like, literally, the perfect number was 2, and it was 2, and he disbelieved. And that changed everything, because you're absolutely right. I was panicking internally. I don't want to kill you all. I really don't. So, but I also don't want to be the guys like, I've got this big dragon that I foreshadowed as being this insurmountable threat in front of you with nothing to stop it from just wrecking you now. Matt's down, Galarick's wounded, then Pop will be on his own and probably will run out of spells and then also get got. That's just how it will work out. And literally, the hand of fate came in, and threw him for a loop where he threw his master over the edge. And when you learn more about those two, you're going to understand that they have a very, very close bond, because it's unusual for a dragon to be in a position of servitude to... It's potentially a bastardization of dragonkind, so it's a weird one. But yeah, he is compelled to look after him, and so I had to go after him. Which I just thought was so perfect, and then it brought you, and that's what it was when you stunned him as well. That brought you around. Like, there was just these little things that you did that just, like, it was just seconds to keep you alive, just that little bit longer to find the solution. It was that was what
I was going for with the trip. If I'd have just landed that trip, I think Galarick could have done significant damage to him,
and to be honest, Flis,
chucked him out the window.
I'm confident that you would have as well, because like you said, you spent all that time building your size up. You had all those bonuses. You outclassed him in terms of size.
I did,
and then you rolled a friggin' 1.
And then I couldn't have done him damage anyway because I was slowed. So the trip wouldn't have done any good to me, but it would have been useful to Galarick. I did all the potions, but then got hit by slow, entangle, shake, panic. Everything. I hit all of them, and it's rare in a combat you ever get hit by all of those things at once.
That's something.
Literally.
You're giving Ansel inspiration.
Yeah.
Well,
the other thing I really enjoyed was at the start of the fight. I was like, man, I don't want to just like ambush him and then fucking kill him in one. Like, Flis is gonna smash this guy.
I thought he was gonna. I was like, I'm
ready.
ready for him to be one-shotted here, because I'm sure Flis could muller him with the jump attack thing. Easy.
With the jump attack, maybe he could do damage, but I figured he would have damage reduction. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's for like...
which I can't overcome because I haven't got the magic weapon and I hadn't got it on at that point.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
The amount of damage you do, though, it's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So all of these things just sort of just collided into. I mean, personally, I am dead satisfied with how it went. I can understand how it must be super infuriating for you, Matt, and I hope that will feed into hopefully satisfaction for when you face them again, perhaps in different circumstances. The only other thing I want to draw attention to is that when we were doing the Let's Dig Up series, we had the opportunity to delve into lots of different classes. And one of those books that we kept rolling was the Dragon Magic book, where we were able to see the amazing class that is the Dragonfire Adept. And it was then that I learned what one of the major villains of this campaign was going to be, because of how resourceful and how powerful they are. And when I would have Spit Take, exactly. Spit Take was strong, but imagine Spit Take, but if he's competent and has the draconic heritage of a half dragon behind him as well. Exactly. So it's things like that you would never uncover if you didn't just like try things you haven't tried before in this game. And that's why I love that we play 3.5 so much, because there's so much material. You never know what you're going to discover next. And who knows what that means for the future as well. So with all that said, I think that's it. But we are now going to quickly cut to the discussion we had about our reasoning behind Flis and actually learning that perhaps we are within the rules. Anyway, we'll cut to that. I think we are. I felt vindicated from it.
I don't disagree that we are within the rules. I felt a bit sad that it wasn't clearer, really, than it should be in the rules. But there it is.
Monty Cook and those people from the past. Thank you all for watching. As always, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, then give us a subscribe. And as we always say on Roll the Bones, bone them rolls.
Bone them rolls.
Roll that footage.
Tell your mum.
And don't tell your mum. There is also the other factor that we've said that Galarick is in literally the same moment running to heal you. Even though admittedly it was after you dropped beneath the -11. If we go with what
I mean,
saying.
if we saying he's dead, then the heal won't work. But I mean, it's
that's
down to a ruling. It is not an explicit rule that I can find in the book.
That's my point, and I don't want you to be. Listen, I hope that I did a good enough job in stating explicitly to you that this was going to be a really dangerous encounter.
Dude, he used his abilities. He did nothing more. It was just a string of bad luck that I got hit with every nerf and incapacitating spell in a row.
So I because I felt shit for it, but at the same time I'm like, well, but this is what it is, isn't it? So I'm happy to say that with the healing, that would pop you back up so we will keep that you were on -1. Well, again, like I kind of would like. I know at the end of the day I have to make the call, but I want to make the call that is a shared consensus, so we don't look back at this moment and think, this was made little of because. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather us have a discussion about it than that.
It's very difficult, boys. It's been a bit of a frustrating combat for me, being so utterly just useless. So it's hard for me to, with an objective perspective, because I don't want to feel like then it's as Rob is saying. I hate when we kind of go, but. And it feels kind of like we're making it. Well, you didn't die because of this, but it is a point that's up for debate, I suppose.
I would err because we are unsure. I think rather than drawing a line in the sand and saying no, you definitely lose it because it's even though when it doesn't explicitly say it in this description. I would say that we are on the side of caution, and then if we are corrected, then in the future, then we will go with as written. But that combined with the fact that Galarick was literally on you within the turn to restore you, I would err on that side.
Right. So we're saying that I dropped then to -1 rather than -11.
Well,
I would say
when you're receiving
-1
healing, you're stabilized, so you're technically on 0. I was going on. If my assumption was if you had just dropped down, I was going to go and take you as far up as I can.
Which is what I would say, because the healing would then begin, and healing doesn't start in the minus things. Healing starts from 0 to, so you go from conscious and then healing. I thought so. Would you not? Or Does that mean?
I mean, if it did, it would
I
take
thought if
hit
someone
points.
did healing, like a healing
Exactly.
spell on you, you would just get all those hit points.
Yes,
right? So
yeah.
if you
As
put
I take
however
it, because
many
you
onto me, I'd
wouldn't
get
go
them.
from minus whatever you were to then -1. No, you're getting healing, so bam, 0, and then whatever points you're getting.
No. But I mean, -11 would have happened if the rage ended. We're saying the rage didn't end, so I was actually
Yes.
only on -1.
Yes.
Because it's the +10 for the rage, and then Galarick came, put his hands on me. How many points of healing is that?
10.
10.
But that would
Which
take you
put
to
me up to 9 hit points.
9 hit points.
Oh, you're including 0. So yeah, of course, because maths
9.
it would be
You have to. I think you have to include the 0. I think.
So 9.
yeah, because you can exist at 0 state, can't you? So it would be
Yes, you
8.
just don't do
You are
anything.
right.
9. Ignore me. It's 9. You're at 9. I can't do maths either.
No, I definitely can't do maths, and I wanted to.
-1, 0, 1, 2.
So I will be at 9 hit points
Yeah.
after you do your thing. Yeah.
I'm happy with that, to be honest. Is everyone else okay with that?
I would say with how Raw works, if they had meant that falling unconscious or falling asleep ends a rage, then they would have said
They specifically.
asleep
That's
or
what I
falling
always say.
unconscious.
They should say if it's a thing, and it isn't said anywhere. Explicitly not said anywhere. So we're just adding that. And as much as I appreciate you trying to say, "Oh no, it wouldn't be in effect," we know that this is a system that is filled with interpretation.
edge cases and
And it's okay.
Well,
the next breath weapon.
Exactly.
We'll go
We have a while, but there will be another one coming if something doesn't happen. So
It's hard to say with certain rules that aren't actually written. I'm sure there are people, though. I know a guy who will know this rule. He will know that somewhere written in one of the obscure books, this rule is explicitly written. He's a freak.
But if it isn't, my argument would be if it is in the obscure books, it shouldn't be. It should be in the.
It's a base class.
It's a base class. It shouldn't be in an obscure rulebook. It should be in the
It should
rulebook
be in
when
the
class
description.
appears,
Yeah,
and it isn't.
but then I don't know. Well, I'll go with it.
yeah.
I feel a bit dirty.
No, I don't. I legitimately
We'll
don't,
take it and we'll-
that's coming from me, and I don't. I want to try and avoid that, but I think this fits, and to be honest, it is also kind of perfect. The Galarick was there ready for the heal at the right moment. So
Yes.
Well, we'll see what happens.
what I'm going to do is
no healing potions left anyway,
right,
and
so you could still die.
Who knows?
I'm going to. Like I said, I hit record the moment I came back in because I wanted us to have this discussion, but I might put this at the end of the session, so people see how we came to this decision. I think as sort of like a post
Bonus features.
Exactly. Yeah.
Behind the scenes bonus features. Yeah.
Post credits.
Post credits. This is definitely our post credits.